It's Fusion Radio with Brian Simpson and YT Ask Keys, man. Our next guest, man, is no stranger to Fusion Radio, man. It's been here countless times, man. And what I'm excited about is the things that's on his bucket list, I think really speaks to the artist, man. And so I'm really excited about just jumping into that right away because I believe that what's being discussed is going to definitely help the artist in a major way, man, and everything. So who am I talking about, man? My brother K.Noble is in the building, man. What's happening, brother?
Yes, indeed. I'm glad to be here, just grinding, working hard, doing my thing, and it's always a pleasure to come, and join.
All right, so, man, what I want to do, man, is just do a recap before we get into the things on your bucket list because I definitely want to give you some time to definitely get into it. I don't think those are some, one-word answers. I think that's going to be a little bit in-depth. Okay. So if you could just rewind for the person that's hearing you for the first time, man, and break down, who you are as an artist, like how your whole movement started, maybe some accomplishments along the way that you're, super proud of, all that stuff.
So pretty much, I go by the name of, K.Noble. I'm from the south side of Chicago. I've been, doing music for quite some time now. So, I released my Painkillers, project, LP, so that's available on all platforms. That was the most recent release. Prior to that, I released a project titled Life is Pain. And, a few years, prior to that project, I released, a project called Life Lessons of the Noble. And so that's available on SoundCloud, so, if you got SoundCloud, you can go check it out. And just with every project, it's been a grind, just pretty much just learning more and more. And one of the key things that I've learned is the marketing is essential, You can have the best content in the world, but, if you don't know your core audience and if you don't know how to market it and, if you don't know how to, keep yourself relevant and stay consistent, you're going to get lost in the sauce. So, pretty much, I've just been maintaining that consistency and just, working, with my business partner right here in terms of just putting more and more, content in terms of music, getting that together, and then content in terms of, visuals and videos too as well.
Most definitely. So for the people that's not really familiar with your movement, what made you get into actually making music though?
Music is just always, something that I've, I would say, hip hop, music, that's something that I've been into, starting, by I would say the age of 12, 13, I heard, just, different artists and stuff that, were good at what they did. So I was like, hey, let me give it a try. And then, I just kept honing my craft, just working on it, getting better and better. It was a time where I couldn't even rap on beat. So, I had to go through the process of just honing my skills and getting, better and better. And the more you do something, if you're, effective at it and if you're serious about it, you're going to get better and better with just, keeping your blade sharp and, just honing your craft and your skills.
So I was listening to when you was talking and you said at one point in time you couldn't rap on beat. Right. So to me it seems like at one point in time, of course you weren't where you are now, but it was right. You had to go through trials and tribulations. And I know sometimes when you go through certain things, you get real frustrated and you get discouraged. So what kept you pushing when you had to go through all those certain obstacles you had to go through as far as in the beginning?
Well, just the people around me and stuff, and there would be times where I would kind of just give it a break, but then, I would come back to it. But, I feel that we all have a calling in life, and it's important for us to stay on that path and for us to stay on that purpose. And, it's easy to get frustrated if you don't have the right people around you or, if you just may not be ready, to stay on that course for that time frame. But, the more and more you stay on that path, the better it's going to get. You know, you can't, you know, I would say, you know, like get ahead and accomplish things without going through, you know, trials and tribulations. You know, you have to go through pain and, you know, just experience those obstacles. So when you know, get in that space, you know, you'll be ready to deal with, you know, whatever, you know, comes at you.
Most definitely. So one thing I like doing on this show, I got my own little segment, you feel me? I call it, like, you feel me, classes and sessions. So what I try to do is, with me being an artist, and, you know, most of the times we interview hip-hop artists or just artists in general, I like to pick their brain, and we like to go over certain things that comes with being an artist. So what I want to ask you is, what's your process as far as, like, being in the studio, trying to make a record, and how you go about making music? Because one thing I noticed as far as, like, making music in general, everybody process is a little different. Like, we sometimes have similarities depending on who you are and what type of music you make, but a lot of people process is different. So what's your process as far as making music?
And then so definitely, you know, you're right. Everybody's process is different. You know, you got some people that can just go inside the studio and then, you know, and they just write in the studio. With me, you know, I like to you know, I can, you know, I can just pretty much just be, you know, going, you know, pretty much, you know, along with my day, and then I get ideas in my head, and then I kind of write the lyrics in my head, and I come up with the ideas. Then once I get a chance to write it on paper, or, you know, pretty much, you know, jot down my ideas, you know, to the actual beat, you know, I just write it down. So just pretty much just going, you know, like throughout, you know, like the regular day, just gathering ideas here and there. And then once I go inside the studio, you know, when I execute, I want it to be, you know, like pretty much just precise and on point, so that, you know, I can just, you know, knock it out, and I won't have to waste time, you know, trying to, you know, get it to be, you know, where it needs to be.
So, in other words, you like to go with your game plan. You like to go, I won't even necessarily say lyrics I already wrote, but you like to already know what you come here to do, so you don't waste time.
Yeah.
Because studio time ain't cheap. Especially when you want the good quality studio time. You want that good quality mic and that good quality producer that's going to put you together and do your thing. That stuff costs money. So I definitely understand what you mean as far as, like, being prepared. Because a lot of people, as far as, like, artists and different people that make music, they think you could just go in the studio and just hood freestyle and it work like that. Well, honestly, some people can't do that. I'm not going to say it like that. Some people can't do that. But everybody can't just go in the booth and just start rapping. That everybody can't do that.
Because certain songs may take, you know, more time, you know, on the feel of it. You know, certain songs may be more introspective with the message that you're trying to get across. Exactly. And then also, you know, we didn't mention this, but certain beats are harder to ride. You know, like, it may take time or whatever for you to practice, you know, like your flow to get it precise in the pocket. And then especially if your rhyme schemes is real complex, it could take longer. So it's like, you know, that's why, you know, I like to have everything just knocked out and have it, you know, like how I need it to be even before, you know, I go in the studio and lay it down.
Because the crazy thing about it is, as us being like, I could say it like this, us being like hip-hop artists, you feel me?
Right.
Like, with our songs, it's a lot of detail in our songs, don't get it wrong, but, like, it's not as much detail in our songs compared to, like, our R&B song, you feel me? Like, in an R&B song, it's like, it might be one vocal, but it might be like so many parts to that one vocal, and you will be sitting there trying to put so much together for that one part. Right. Like, you'll be in there for hours working on one song. So, like, I definitely understand what you mean, but as far as, like, your process and how you go about music, because who wants to be sitting there trying to figure out the process already, wasting time? You didn't spend 2 hours on the first verse or the hook, when you could have knocked out 2-3 songs in that 1 hour, 2 hours span.
Yes, indeed. And then also, you know, I wanted to mention that it's best to kind of stick with the same engineer, because, you know, some of these engineers, you know, you go to the studio and they record you and they're not even mixing it down, or not even, you know, mixing it down right or whatever. So it's best to stay with the same people, because a lot of, you know, and I'm not trying to diss these newcomers, but a lot of them, you know, like, you know, they have this instantaneous, mentality, and you know they don't want to put the work in, you know, and you know, in order for you to be great, it takes work, you know. But a lot of them, you know, the mind frame is short term, so I like to stick to the same engineer. You know, we have a relationship. You know, I know, you know, what he's capable of doing, and I know that I'm gonna be satisfied, you know, once, you know, it's time for, you know, everything to be mixed and mastered.
Most definitely, because it's one thing I had to understand about that same point that you just made. A lot of producers or like engineers, they'll make you sound how they want you to sound and not how you want to sound. You feel me?
Right.
Because as artists, like, that's why I understand exactly where you're coming from. Because when I make a song, I kind of, I ain't even gonna say kind of, but you have the outlook of how you want your song to sound.
Right.
You feel me? Based off like how you write music and how you go about doing your, you feel me? Your due diligence. So a certain producer might not mix it like you said or put it together a certain type of way, like how you want it. So you definitely right. You definitely got to stick to a certain person. Build your team up. Get that person you rock with as far as like engineering.
And then also, you
hits.
know, it may be certain, you know, aspects of it that you may be slightly green about, you know, but if you got a relationship with that engineer, you know, he's going to make recommendations like, oh, man, you know, you should go with this or whatever. Trust me, you know, based upon his expertise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because if this your dog and he really wants you to sound the best way you can, he gonna tell you like, nah, bro, do that over, or nah, let's try to say this a different type of way to see if it hit differently. You feel me? Like, I don't know, Brian. It's hard. I ain't gonna lie. Being a musician or like just an artist in general, it's definitely hard when it comes to finding the right people to work with, because it's not easy though. Like, people think you could just go in the studio and just rap. No, that ain't even how that works. It's definitely not.
Well, let me say this, man, is both of you guys, man, real talk, man, the conversation that both of you guys are having is so super dope, because you're touching on all type of levels that an artist should absolutely know from a knowledge standpoint. So you definitely are adding some years to people's careers and accelerating their careers in such a major level, man. And, man, I almost feel like, man, we need to take a break for the people to actually digest all that stuff y'all just said, because that was a bunch. It was like class was truly in session right there, man. And so,
it just spilled all out.
But you know what's crazy is Keith wasn't here the last time that you came, and it's like every time K.Noble comes, man, he always brings a lot of knowledge. Like it feels like, you know, we're in that lecture class, but that one that's fun. Not the one that you sitting back, you're about to take a nap doing, but it always feels like it does, man.
Yeah.
So, man, on the other side, we're going to come back, and my other brother, man, who came with you, man, it's always a lot of fun. We're going to shout him out, man, and definitely have him to join the conversation. So you got 2 singles, man.
Yeah.
She Crazy, which I'm definitely excited about that, because I can't wait till Keith come back and talk about that one. And then you got the other one is called Hope I Don't Die.
Yeah.
You got 2 songs right here, man. It's really, really deep that I think speaks to people. So I want to allow you to be the music director of the show and pick which one you like to play first.
Well, we can go with the, Hope I Don't Die first.
All right. So what was the inspiration behind Hope I Don't Die first?
So, you know, pretty much, when I wrote that, that was kind of still, doing, like COVID, when COVID, was still kind of going on and stuff. So that inspired that too as well. And, I just pretty much, I just wrote to the song, and that's what came out and stuff. So it's available on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, and then also the video is available too, on YouTube too as well.
All right, we got more with the homie K.Noble. It's Fusion Radio with Brian Stinson and YTS Keys.
Life is short. You never know when it's gonna be your last day. You gotta live life to the fullest. Keep going, do what you need to do. Make the most of it. Cause anything is possible. Anything could happen.
Had a dream about dying in a matter of seconds. Gunfire directed at me from his weapon. Ripped through my flesh, hit me in the head and neck. Stretched out, EMS didn't come in time. I bled to death in a pool of blood on the pavement. The shooting wasn't, no doubt, gang related. Gunfire erupted, thought I was mean mugging. We had words led to a heated discussion over nothing. I wasn't backing down. In attack mode, stood my ground. Smacked him around in front of a crowd and just staring, embarrassed, no doubt, wishing he could change the narrative. He pulled out an automatic, let off a few rounds. Can't believe I got caught lacking back foul. Damn, they didn't have the heart to face me. Gun off safety, instantly wasted me. I hope I don't die. Had a dream I died, didn't survive. I hope I don't die, hope I don't die. Many lives lost, asking God why. I hope I don't die. The dream I had could become reality. If it does, it won't be the first or last tragedy. For right now, least of my concerns. Over 200,000 deaths from COVID has been confirmed. Everyone's heartbroken over COVID with a hopeless frame of mind. Sending my condolences with the deepest emotions to folks. I feel your pain. Who lost loved ones, too painful for them to cope with. Shortness of breath, bad cough, these are the symptoms. Taking probiotics to rebuild my immune system. Had an unhealthy past. Gotta watch what I eat. My body might not be able to fight off the disease. Government feeding us lies about COVID to save face. It's called damage control. We took the bait. If I end up in the grave, COVID is my name. Lives on, I embrace the pain till my life force fades. I hope I don't die. Had a dream I died, didn't survive. I hope I don't die. Hope I don't die. Many lives lost, asking God why. I hope I don't die.
Hey babe, what are you doing?
I just woke up and I had the most craziest dream.
Well baby, it was just a dream. You still want me to come through today, babe?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm on my way.
Make sure you wear that dress I like.
Oh yeah?
Now, I just want to tell y'all, I think Keith see where I'm getting ready to go with this. I like the last part of that song because I like the skit with the female.
Yeah.
And I like it because, I got a segment called Drop the Octaves. Anybody been to this show knows that. When it gets sexy in here and everything, we play them R&B records. I can tell the octaves drop. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that know that's been listening to this radio show know. At least one time. And what's the crazy thing is we ain't played no R&B records on this station today, but you helped me on out with that last little part of the song. And anybody that was listening, you notice how it cut off? Because it cut off because everybody knew something was finna go down.
Oh, yeah.
It was finna go down in the bedroom. Boom, boom, boom.
And then also, I just wanted to add that that the next song that I got, featuring, Lil Monet or whatever, that kind of falls along the line, as a collaboration with a female.
Yeah, and I can't wait till we play that song because I really feel like there's a guy or two or three or four that's gonna be like, that's me. I'm actually thinking about my coworker right now that be telling me that his girl is crazy, but they still together. You know what I'm saying? She got mad because he didn't want to get up and get her a glass of water, so she picked a fight with him at 5 a.m. And so I really feel like I'm gonna play that record for him on Monday. She crazy.
Yeah.
I can see Kool-Aid. Water.
Right. She got mad. She was just like, get up and get me some water. He was like, no, I'm not.
That's some good
Then she started punching him and started a fight and everything. Messed his whole day
They
up.
must really love each other.
Yeah, they do. He's still with her, man. He still is with her, man.
You about to get her some jugs of water.
Yeah, you got certain people out there that just,
Right.
they just made for each other.
They love water. They love water.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's Fusion Radio. Brian Stinson, YTS Keys to the building, K.Noble. And then, K.Noble, I want you to introduce those of you that's on Facebook Live. You see him. My brother, man, he's been here before. Introduce him because I really want you two on this next part when we get into all these things that you want to discuss. I want both of you to chime in because I really feel like you're going to bring something that's going to probably be different from what K.Noble says. So introduce your guest.
And so, yeah, this is, pretty much, like, my cousin, he goes by the name of Dre, and we're collaborating, with business partners in terms of, the music, and then also, the Noble's Drip.
Right.
We've just been collaborating, just working together, combining, our resources and also, our ideas to keep, staying consistent in terms of, the videos, content, coming up with new ideas on how to, promote, Noble's Drip and, take it to the next level and, just reach as many, individuals as we can as possible.
So that gives us the perfect opportunity since you jumped into it. That's on your list of bucket list things to talk about, man. Talk to us about what Noble's Drip is, man. Go into detail and like what birthed that.
And well, my cousin Dre, pretty much, he's the inventor of that, so, he'll be handling that question and he can go into more details, and he could break it down a lot better.
Appreciate it. What's up, Brian? Glad to be back, and I'm excited. Like I said, you still look young, like you don't age or whatever. Just a great opportunity to partner with my cousin or whatever. And then Noble's Drip, that's a lifestyle. It's not a trend. It's like a sneakerhead drug or whatever. Made here in Chicago, in the heart of Chicago. It's a premium sneaker cleaner. Works good. Safe on all colors, all materials. Quick and easy to use, damage-free experience, highly effective results, and save time and money. Pretty much. So yeah, that's what it is. It's for the culture. Like I said, I do a lot of collabs with other local artists or whatever, with the product or whatever, just kind of bringing awareness or whatever, and most importantly, just bringing awareness and keeping your shoes looking brand new. Like I said, it's Noble's Drip, and excited to be here.
So let's go into, man, where we can definitely find a product. Because, man, there's some shoes out here that it don't take much for them to scoff or get messed up, damaged. We spend all this money and dang, we didn't get a whole year out these.
That's true.
Yeah.
And that's the important to it, you know what I mean? Just keeping your shoes looking fresh, so you want to keep spending that extra money. I'm a sneakerhead, but, I'm married, so my wife like, we got to cut down off the sneakers or whatever. And pretty much just something that I created like 18 years ago. Recently got a son, he's 4 now, so when you go to daycare, he always come back with his shoes scuffed up. So I just kind of rebranded and put on the market pretty much like that or whatever. And it's tripped out because like most of my customers are women. I guess, guys kind of like, we just put them on and we're ready to go. Women are like, we got to stay fresh or whatever. But it's been great. Like I said, it's been 4 years now. But where you can go to noblesdrip.com or you go to my IG at noblesdrip. And follow me or whatever. And today we giving away to support his album, well, the single "She Crazy," as well as just building up the memento, whatever. So if you're listening right now, you can go to our page, just tag 2 of your friends. Shipping had it included. We're giving away over $200 worth of product. Noble Jill, we also got some gifts for you guys, just so you can test it out or whatever. Like I said, it's a premium sneaker cleaner. I created this product. I'm not a rocket scientist, but this drip work. You know what I mean? There's a lot of other products on the market, whatever. Only thing different is this is black owned, made here in the heart of Chicago, actually in Bronzeville. So we're excited about that and just the collab itself. So if that helped, that's pretty much.
Man, congratulations, man, on the definitely, man, years of success, man, and everything. And, man, that's a dope concept, man, that I don't know that anybody has ever really thought about it. I've talked to anybody, let me say, that has ever thought about doing something like that, man. So kudos out to you on that, man. Definitely, Dre, man. Like I said, it's always a pleasure to have you. So I want to bring you into this conversation with K.Noble, man. So I really feel like this is going to be like an educational thing. So those of you that's on Facebook Live, those of you that's listening, if you know someone that absolutely they're starting off as an artist or maybe, hit some different struggles as an artist, this is our opportunity to definitely educate and everything. This is WllT 88.9 FM Chicago. So I want to get into, man, the best way that upcoming artists should market and promote themselves in 2023.
Okay, so I would say, the best way that up-and-coming artists can market and promote themselves is first, knowing, what your core, what your core audience is. So, if you know what your core audience is, pretty much, okay, I can, make a few changes here and there, but I need to pretty much cater, to this audience in terms of my content. And, secondly, Facebook ads. You can run Facebook ads and maybe, spend anywhere from like maybe, like $1 to like $2 a day or even more, and just run those ads. And, with the Facebook ads, you can pretty much, customize it to pretty much, have it target, audience. Well, actually have it target, artists or people that are interested, in the same kind of artists, that are similar to you as well. And then also, you can target, all of the English-speaking countries. You can duplicate the same campaign and just target, pretty much like the U.S. So I would say with the Facebook ads, those have been very helpful for me. And, I just pretty much just run an ad maybe for like 30 days. And once the campaign is over, I'll, rerun the ad again. Yeah, so that's helpful. I don't think artists really, need, like PR campaigns, unless, you're really established and you're trying to pretty much, grow, your audience and your fan base. But if you're an up-and-coming artist, paying for like a PR campaign can break you. You may not, have those resources, to do that.
So for those that don't know what a PR campaign is, what is that though?
So pretty much what a PR campaign is, so a PR campaign, what they do is, they're putting you, like in all, like all of the major blogs, then also in terms of like publications, magazines, and it's based upon the relationships, that the PR campaign has, well, actually the relationships that that the firm has, with these, publications and, these blogs and stuff like that. And, I did it, like twice, and I get it that my names was being mentioned in these publications, but when it came to pretty much having traction, having that traction come to like my my Instagram page and my Facebook page or TikTok and even Spotify, I wasn't getting any traction. So once I started just pretty much running the Facebook ads, and once I just started, being consistent in terms of doing the YouTube shorts and staying consistent in terms of creating content, visuals, that's when the numbers started to increase.
Most definitely. And one thing that I do want all the people that's listening and all the artists that's out here listening, I want y'all to understand this though. It's so many ways to promote your music, but you gotta find the best way for you.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Because based on what type of artist you might be or what type of music you make, it might be one type of way to promote your music better than the other way. Yeah. Like I know there's certain artists out here that get on because they posted a song on SoundCloud and they got on because of SoundCloud. And then I know there's artists out here that posted a reel on TikTok and stuff like that, and it blew up on TikTok. Now a lot of people listening to their music because it blew up on TikTok.
I don't mean to cut you off, but can you say that one more time for the people at home, because they really need to hear that, because a lot of people think that it's just one way, and then you got these imposters out there that are saying, oh, I can do this, and you got a lot of scammers. I know later on we're going to get into that, and they're pretty much bamboozling artists and taking advantage of artists.
Exactly. So basically, just like what you really have to do is you have to be honest with yourself and understand your fan base and like where you at in your career at that point in time. So based off where you at in your career, is certain ways that you can promote your music better than others. Like certain people could just post a picture or like post something simple and get a lot of reaction to it just based off who they are and what type of career they having at the time. But everybody can't do that. If you just up and coming and you just not starting, maybe you might have to do things like Facebook ads or like trying to network a lot with people and go to different events and try to do a lot of shows to try to put your name out there and put your stuff out there. So it's just being honest with yourself as an artist and where you at in your career and understanding what you need to do for your career. Because what one artist might have done for their career to put them on might not work for you.
Might not work, yeah. Right. Networking, like you said, collabing and networking. I know lately, over the later part of last year, that's what we did. We just hit a lot of events and networking, and that kind of gave us a boost too, with other artists or whatever. So I think that worked because we found a niche in that. That's something we never really did. We would kind of wait on the show or whatever, but for the most part, we just never, just pushing the envelope, because after the pandemic, it was like, okay, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
It's working. So
matter of fact, I want to build off what you just said. Even like current events and what's going on, you got to think about that too. Because like how you just brought up the pandemic, based on the pandemic, it was only certain type of ways you could promote yourself and do certain things. It wasn't like you said, networking. You could go out to different shows and places to meet people. A big way to promote yourself at that time was social media.
Yeah.
So you also have to take that into account to what's actually going on. Like how, like for example, like certain people make songs based off what's going on in the culture at a time. Like you might remix a certain type of song because that song popping right now. So you do a remix to the song because you want to bring some tracks into yourself because everybody gonna listen to it because this is the popping song right now.
Yeah.
So like you gotta listen to the trends.
Just like how the the artists like how 50 did back in the day with like with the mixtapes or whatever.
Exactly.
I mean all he was doing is just pretty much rapping over songs that people knew, but just giving his own spin to it to the point where they like, who is 50 Cent?
Exactly.
So it's the same game or whatever. Things are just more advanced or whatever, but it's the same game. Same thing, yeah.
Man, y'all over here having a dope conversation, man. I had to put my pen down for a second. I was doing a bunch of writing over here, man. About to have arthritis. I was just saying, man. But, man, like, on a real tip, man, like, I'm glad that we have Fusion Radio and we can educate, man. And so you sort of preluded to it, K.Noble, man, is one of the things that was on your bucket list, man, how up-and-coming artists, man, can avoid scammers and deception on social media, man.
Okay,
Talk about that.
So how can up and coming artists avoid scammers and deception? Well, first of all, if you have like an individual, just reaching out to you on social media saying, oh, I know this person, like this and that, it's always best to like, the person or the individual that they claim that they are, to like research them off of social media. So, you can see, what this person's credentials are, if they're real. And then also, pretty much, so, if you're unsure about what they're saying, you could ask them, well, if you're charging for radio time, give me a list of the actual, like, analytics or whatever, that describes, the section, like the success rate or how many spins I'm going to get. So I had a scammer, to try to, pretty much con me. And I asked him those questions and, he couldn't answer those questions. And then also I wanted to mention, if you do decide, to do a transaction with an individual, that you think might be legit through social media, it's best to always go through PayPal and, pretty much, set it up to be, like a business transaction. So, like not a transaction between friends and family, but an actual business transaction, because if they don't fulfill their promise or uphold their end of the bargain, then you can pretty much file a claim with PayPal and let them know, like, hey, this person never fulfilled their end, they didn't provide the service, that they were supposed to provide, and then, you can get your money back.
Yeah.
Is it anything else, man? I feel like you being an artist that's been out for a while, and like I said, you always drop jewels, man. And anything else that, is not on your bucket list of things to share that you feel like artists or just people in general should know regarding the music industry?
Okay. I think that artists should never, ever be in a situation where they're relying on someone too much. It's certain things that you're going to need a team for, but at the same time, at the end of the day, your career is in your hands, and you have to pretty much, like take charge. And then, especially if you're in a situation where you're paying the money and you're investing everything, at the end of the day, your career is in your hands. You have to make the best choices for you. And at the same time, you have to be proactive. And, especially in this day and age that we're in, you just can't rely on just being an artist and just singing or rapping. You have to have many, different skills outside of that in terms of, creating content, like, let's say, like, knowing how to market yourself, strategizing and planning ahead, and different things or whatever. You have to have a vast amount of skills. You just can't just say that I'm an artist, and this is all that I do, because if that's your mind frame, you're going to get taken advantage of, or, be put in a situation where you thought, things was going to be favorable, as far as your success, but it didn't turn out the way, you anticipated that, that it would be. Yeah.
Most definitely. So just before we get up out of here, one thing I did want to ask is, so I see you got a lot of things going on. I see you got the music going on. I see you got the clothes going on. You got the shoe cleaner and all this other stuff. But what can we expect for K.Noble in 2023 though? What's new though? Like, what's something that we haven't seen you done yet that we gonna be like something new that you're gonna put out there for?
So actually, actually for the She's Crazy song, we're going to be releasing a video, that's coming soon, so we're going to be releasing the actual video for that. And then also, we have a Noble's Drip song, that I pretty much did to promote, like the Noble's Drip brand. So, we're going to be releasing that, too as well, that's coming soon. And then probably, I want to say, like towards the end of the year, we're going to be, I'm going to be releasing another project too as well. So, so pretty much, those are the things, that, we're working on.
Brother, man, it's always class and session when you come, man. You always sharing jewels and everything.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Man, I definitely appreciate it. Dre, I also appreciate your company, man, and what you're doing through the business, man, and everything. If both of you could shout out your social media, man, and then once you get done with that, I'm beyond excited about playing this She Crazy record. So,
okay. Yes, indeed.
When you get done with the social media, I need you to give us the story behind how She Crazy was birthed.
And so my Instagram is at K.Noble MMR. My Twitter is the Noble one, at K.Noble MMR. My Facebook is at K.Noble MMR, and then also my TikTok is at user K.Noble.
That's what's up.
And so for the song, She's Crazy, pretty much, I just kind of had an idea, as soon as I heard the beat, I was like, this would be a good topic, so pretty much, I wrote, the first few verses, and then I was like, wow, but, I can't do this on my own, I need a female, to kind of pretty much bring a different feel to it, so that we can have a combination of the yin and the yang. And then, I came across, the feature that's on the song, and her name is, Lil Monet, and she was, she pretty much stated that she could do it, and so, she sent me her verses, and then I was like, wow, like it sounded good, I had DJ D-Man mix it down, and I compensated, Lil Monet, for her time, and her efforts, and it came together, pretty well, and then also the song is produced by Sim Beats too as well. So yeah, so it just came together. Yeah, so.
Awesome.
So Dre, shout out your social media, man. Definitely shout out the website too, man, where they can go and get in tune.
Definitely, my Instagram is Noble's Drip, Noble's Drip, NOBLESDRIP. TikTok, Noble's Drip, spelled the same way, and then noblesdrip.com. And if you want to find me on Facebook, it's DeAndre Nobles. And like I said again today only till tomorrow, 7 o'clock, we're giving away $200 worth of product for free, shipping and handling included. Just to go to our page, go to our Noble's Drip page, go to K.Noble's page, share 2 friends, comment, and we'll pick a special winner that night at 7 o'clock or whatever, just to support the brand and as well as support the artistry.
So I might be bold when I'm getting ready to say this, but I think this is going to be the fellas anthem right here. She crazy.
Hard.
She crazy. It's in your ears right now from K.Noble. It's Brian Stinson, it's YTS Keys, man, in the building.
I held you down, baby girl, ever since day one. Looked out for you when you were short on funds, down on your luck, unable to confront the issues you was facing. I'm stunned, being accused of lying and cheating, false rumors being spread by deceiving. Hate thoughts, they trying to destroy what we have. They love deceive, relationships go bad.
Held you down, I've been A1 with you. I was around when no one else came through. You say I'm this, heard I did that. Them rumors whack, you know I got your back there. Lazy on me, we go in circles. I never meant to hurt you. Lazy on me, if we gon' work it out, I need you 10 toes down. Been the realest on your team, now you're tweaking on me. It's so beyond me, I'ma get you back to the street, cause I don't wanna hear no this and that, when all I ever did was hold you down. Me cheat on you, now how that sound? Hold up baby, it's over now, go ahead take a bow. I'd rather be single and on the prowl than let a link wipe me down. Loyal to a fault the way you folded foul, try to trap me like a week. She ain't never been sweet, had you down you should've drowned, now you seasick. Don't hit my line cause I'ma do some me. Leave it red so you can see that I seen.
You don't have the right to address me in that kind of way. Don't disrespect me, watch what you say. I won't tolerate it, you criticizing me, wilding out, acting out violently. Can't let what we built go to waste. You was misled a second time by two-faced friends that never had your best interest. Bad mouthing me with bull opinions.
Held you down, I've been A1 with you. I was around when no one else came through. You say I'm this, heard I did that. Them rumors whack, you know I got your back. Crazy on me, we go in circles. I never meant to hurt you. Crazy on me, if we gon' work it out, I need you 10 toes down.
Hey, beautiful, where you coming from?
Ooh, Lord Jesus, I swear to God, I'm so tired of this.
Okay, yeah. Well, don't worry about it, baby. I got something for that. Send me the low so I can slide on.